Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ETF2L Nations Cup number 7. We're in the semifinals. The winner of this matchup will go on to face England in the finals. But first, Finland and France, they're going to have to duke it out to see who actually gets to go there. I am Peter. We have Foppish on production, and Buck is joining me as well. How are you doing on this fine evening, Buck?
Doing alright, just came back from some Highlander scrimmage. Not had much sixes exposure, but I do dabble into the sixes scene every now and again. I know like some of the top players, I guess, especially from like the American side, because they're quite renowned, I suppose, like for Tech and all that. But yeah, gonna have Finland and France fighting out on the process. I've got Skype is actually my HL team's roster, so I'm probably gonna be a bit biased and wins here, I suppose. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see these two teams fight out today.
It wouldn't be a Nations Cup game without a bit of bias involved, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Normally it's nationalism, but in your case, I guess it's just rooting for a teammate. But I mean, I'll take either one. It just adds a bit of spice to the cast, and that is what I that is what I love about the Nations Cup. You know, it's kind of a lot of just cheering for your own team, basically, right? Like we all have this like affinity for our own countrymen. But yeah, these two teams are looking really strong. I think we should go through the rosters here because these are looking very, very strong. So I'm going to start out with the Finnish roster right now. They're all in the server. So we're going to have Nothouse and Credu on Scouts. Then we're going to have AMS and Murje on Soldier. We're going to have Skyper and Demoman. And then we have Turbo Apina, which is not sure. Is that Blooders? I'm not sure. On Medic, I think. I think that's how it is. But definitely they're their strongest roster here today. Like the Credu Nothouse Scout combo is just absolutely fierce. It's probably the best Scout combo in the entire Nations Cup, like for any country, like even better than England. So that's just already a big boon to them. And then of course they have AMS in here. He hasn't played all the games, but he has played some of them. So, and you know, he's definitely a big time player. You know.
Yeah, definitely, and like some of the scouts, like I know Nothouse has done a bit of Highlander here and there, and I've got to say, like I do remember playing against him with one time. I was like, "Oh, who's this Nothouse guy?" And then like he absolutely slayed, and I was so scared to play against him. It was crazy. And then Credu coming in because he's played for quite a while at this point, I think. But yeah, looking at France, then we're gonna have Ombrak on Meds, we have Callback and Raf on Soldiers, and then Scouts. I think you'll have to help me out because they don't actually have the roster on their ETF2L Nations Sixes page. I don't think so.
Yeah, so we definitely have Opti on Scout, and then I think it's been varying quite a bit. I know Olga has been playing Scout. I'm not sure he's going to do that today. If I had to guess, I'd say he's going to be the one. Yeah, Olga has just joined the server. All right, so that's going to be Olga, and he was doing really well on Scout the last time I saw them play. I can't quite remember who they actually played. And Turbo is just Turbo. All right, okay, that's good. But let's see if I can just find out. Yeah, so France, they beat Sweden, and I saw that game, and it was a pretty much a walkover game there. France just absolutely dominating Sweden. And then I didn't see Finland versus Poland, but Finland came out on top against those guys, and I don't think that's too surprising. I was kind of surprised that Poland even beat Denmark. So Finland has definitely had the easier road here than France. But you know, they've both looked equally impressive. So,
France. Well, I was gonna say like France has probably like had a bit of help with the fact that like obviously most of them are probably members of Ascent. So like the synergy, I suppose, is kind of already existing. So they've not had to like work on it as like a nations team. They've already got it as like a Prem Sixes team. But yeah, with them kind of, did they drop from the season or something? I think I saw
Ascent.
Or am I thinking of someone else?
Ascent. I can't even remember if they finished the season or if they just defaulted the last couple of games. I think they finished the season. Did they actually?
Season 30, they're not actually a thing, I don't think so. But I mean, you know, even in the past, they've probably had that synergy, so same thing still applies, I suppose.
Yeah, and of course there's going to be an Ascent team at I-63, so this is just basically free scrim practice for them, you know?
Yeah.
That's just good times overall, and it's definitely one of the factors that I think will really contribute to the fact that they are just the absolute favorites to win this Nations Cup. It's not just that they've won the last 2 years as well. I can't remember what it was before that. Maybe it's even more than 2 years in a row. But the last 2 years in a row, it was against Germany in the final, and they won. And it's just, usually it's been based off of the fact that they have been scrimming and the other teams have not. But this time around, it's kind of different in that I think most teams have been scrimming to some degree. But France is just already a team, so not only have they been scrimming, but they also have the, the coherence and cohesion of a good team.
Yeah, like they did. I think they won the season 6 and season 5 of the Nations Cup for Sixers. Looking at their team history, so far as I know. So, I mean, they've got like a decent amount of experience, and like if they haven't changed up too many people, which I don't think they have really, then I think they'll probably be like a strong contender for this. But on the other side, we've got Finland, who've kind of, I mean, as you say, might have had possibly an easy group or something like that. But they're going to be definitely contending. They've got some very strong players here who've got like a wealth of Sixers experience, and as long as they're all coordinated correctly, and they're going to be hopefully hyped up to play against France here, and maybe have a bit of luck and a bit of skill, and they'll see what they can pull off.
Yeah, let's just go over the maps that we're going to play. So we have this map ban system, and it's a pretty limited map pool. So it's only like 7 maps or something, and they ban 2 of them. No, it's like 5 maps, and they ban 2 of them. But either way, France banned first, and they banned product, and then Finland banned Badlands. And then after that, Finland got to pick, and they picked process, which is the one we're on right now. They're going to start in about a minute. I just got word from the players. And then we saw France pick the last 2, which would be Gully Wash and Snake Water. So Gully Wash, Snake Water, and process. The most box standard maps in the entire game.
Yeah, all 5CP as well, so no products this time, I suppose. So, just standard Sixers formats, I suppose. I mean, who are you kind of, who's your kind of prediction to win? Oh, wait, do we go live already?
Oh, is this actual live?
Wow, we're badcasters.
Oh, yeah, I completely missed that. I was just all tapped out. But yeah,
Same.
France has lost the middle already, and they're about to lose their medic. There we go. Nuthouse going to just chase down the medic.
Almost tapped and missed that. That was crazy anyway, but yeah.
We didn't miss anything. Like, we all knew that was going to happen on mid anyway. Nobody cares. Anyway, I was going to say, I would say France is a slight favorite to win, but this should be a very close game. The Finnish roster is extremely strong, and if you ever count them out, you are a fool. And they will take the first mid. And they do have a full Uber advantage to go in with here as well, so they're just going to send in the demo man here. Oh no, the medic is taken down.
Was that to I didn't see what that was to actually, because it wasn't a sniper, was it? Or did they
Yeah, it was a sniper.
Oh, was it? Okay, there we go.
Yeah. It was a body shot from Olga.
Damn.
So opportunity wasted right there. The single soldier is going to try and see if he can sneak behind, but no, Korvac will find him. So this will be an easy recap for France. So still a single scout, kind of fighting it out a little bit in the sewers there, or the PC room. I always get those two confused, but yeah, it's complete reversal here. Now France going to have an Uber advantage, and they're already peeking into middle here. Finland being very passive, but actually, oh my god, what a serve from Ombrak. Just barely comes back to the medkit, and that's going to mean he's going to be able to hold on to this Uber. He's not going to die, and Finland, they have been pushed out.
I gotta admit, that was probably the luckiest medkit timing I've ever seen. Like, it wasn't there, and then as soon as Ombrak kind of stood there for a second, it spawned, because the scout was trying to pistol him down, so he will live and does have 100%.
He's incredibly skilled at just timing that right, you mean.
Timing OP.
Indeed, it's France are going to come out. They have pop, very aggressive pop in here, but they so far haven't been able to pick any players. There's a single soldier caught in here, so he's probably going to go down. He's just in the skybox, going to see if he can get onto the medic. No, cannot. Moyer was caught in, but now Finland, they're going to Uber in on their own. Very aggressively here, trying to see if they can get down the medic. They do catch Ombrak, and now it's just a matter of can they actually pick people off while protecting the medic. So far, they're definitely doing a good job of it, sort of between the scouts here and the medic, and these scouts, they're trying to weave away from. Finally, Raph gets in here, gets one rocket onto the medic, but no. Just great positioning there by the Finns. Just positioning self, creating a human wall between themselves and the medic. And a great counter Uber there as well, managing to catch Ombrak. And that's going to be a recap again for Finland.
Yeah, it was good to see that they didn't actually rush that, because I thought they could have sort of just momentumed into mid, but yeah, they managed to keep their mid alive, and it's going to be a bit of a 30% advantage-ish, so they're going to be trying to defend this second point now, as Scout's trying to peek the left side. Got the soldier jumping in already, Am's very aggressive, as Creddy comes in to try and support, but not much avail right now, since they're losing one Scout.
Yeah, Finland, they weren't able to get in here. We saw Turbo was being very passive in choke. He's actually going to Uber now. There's a soldier behind Raf. He's cutting off any retreat, and right now it's 3 alive for Finland. They need to get out of there, but Raf is just going to basically be a pain in the ass as he comes in here from behind, going to onto the medic, immediately taking down. Great timing there. AMS with a nice air shot onto the soldier. Hits his scout with a direct as well, but just doesn't have enough rockets to actually clean up anything else. Single scout caught in here as well. I'm not even going for the medic, and Crater is just going to back out here. So just maybe a bit too ambitious there by Finland, just walking through the choke without Ubers being a factor, especially considering that they actually had the Uber advantage. I think maybe they thought they could just kind of fight it slow and then eventually they would get the Uber and then pop it, but as a result it's just going to be France pushing in here to second with a massive Uber advantage.
Yeah, they're held quite close to the choke, and I guess they kind of got punished for it, but I mean, we've got the France right now taking this through with the Uber. Scouts are trying to come in. There's a level 1 sentry to try and contest with the sticks on the point, as there's only one down right now for Finland. Med does go down though, in the secret area above.
Yeah, Cormac just managing to get in there. There's a scout on the point, going to force people forward. AMS comes in, he hits him down immediately. There's only 2 alive for Finland. They are doing a lot of damage though. Nice shot there from Cormac. That's going to be the last one alive for Finland. And France will able to eke out this round. A very ugly round, definitely not clean, very back and forth. And we are getting ready to have a cracker of a game, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, if Finland end up getting this next mid, they'll probably try and play a bit more safe around the mid and get a bit more of an Uber push into last and try and save the sniper dropping the mid again, possibly. But yeah, we've got both demos out here very quickly right now on the pack. Callback with a massive jump in, gets one rocket onto the demo, but he's going to decide to go for the IT area as Scout's already taking the high ground. Am's already jumping in with a big bomb onto the demo, gets immediately demolished by a point-blank pipe.
Yeah, that was a nice pipe for Elikor. That's kind of what he's known for. Muya's in very aggressively. Basically, everyone's pushed into this choke. There's a scout behind as well. Yeah, gets taken down by... the medic gets taken down. Finland, they will move forward, and that's going to be another mid for them. Elikor actually jumping in here, trying to see if he can get the medic. Does a lot of damage onto him, but cannot get the last pipe to hit. And that's going to be a very nice mid here. They lost a single soldier. I think they have a few other respawners there as well. But yeah, definitely a very good situation. Basically identical to what we saw before. So now they just need to not lose Turbo to a sniper, and they're golden.
Yeah, no, it's like a massive mid there. Like, managed to go around the sewers and getting the rest of the players out. But yeah, Uber just come out right now. Heavy's on the trying to deny this, but they're quite far back. Callback comes in with the big bombs, trying to get them off the point. As this soldier comes in from behind as well, but they managed to cap it out anyway because they didn't stand on the point. Oh god. Yeah,
it's a bit unfortunate there. Elikor just couldn't quite manage to keep his stickies on the point. They kept being blown off, and then France did a great job of actually just cleaning up players around the point, but the point was unprotected and they all went down. And you know, that's how you play the game. You capture points, and that's how you win. So it's 1-1, and already we see Skyper being jumped very aggressively, just double jumped in there. Korvac takes him down, actually finds him. It's going to be a counter jump here from the Finnish soldiers. The first one gets denied pretty heavily, but Muya does manage to get in there quite a lot. And the positioning is better for Finland. They're shooting down right now, but they're not that healthy, and they really need that demo spam. But they do manage to take down Rap. That could be enough to turn the tide of this middle. The single scout forward here, very aggressive. That's Olga, but he's actually managed to evade most of the damage until I set that nice jinx by me. And eventually Finland, they will win the third mid in a row.
Yeah, the pacing from Finland is really on point at the moment. Like, there's like very good pacing in terms of whether to regress and whether to just hit high ground, that sort of thing. But yeah, lots of damage coming out onto Ombrak and onto Elikor. The soldier comes in behind her, merge, gets the force onto Ombrak. So they got to try and, well, they don't really have the players right now to come in, but Nuthouse has just got two in the right sides.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate there, Ombrak. He had to pop. There was a soldier in his face and he had 95 HP. it's not really too much to do. You can see how far back France are. They're just like, nope, we're not going to bother with the second point. We don't want to bleed players. We're just going to let you cap out here. And this is going to be another Uber advantage. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. Finland, they have to hurry a little bit more. You can see Umbrecht's already on 50%, so he can definitely juke the Uber a whole bunch. But at the same time, there's going to be the opportunity in here. They actually lose Crater to a sticky trap, so that's very unfortunate. But they're going to Uber in anyway here. Not going to waste the Uber advantage, that's for sure. They put a scout and actually 3 players onto the point to get a lot of time onto it, but it might just not be enough here as Francis to kind of close down on everyone, takes them down. There's a single soldier up top, still able to get in there. Actually, 2 soldiers come in. One jumps onto the point. The second one goes for the medic. No, cannot find him. Umbrecht, he holds on to the Uber there. Pretty brave as well, and just going to be Crater alive. He's all the way back on mid. So, France, they've shown themselves to be really good at holding this last point.
Yeah, I think that was what played to get that scout early on. I think if they had the 2 scouts on the point there, they probably would have capped that because, yeah, it was going up pretty quickly. But yeah, well played to just defend that right there for France and kind of pick off the demo quite early and separate them out a bit. But going to be trying to hold this mid right now. There's a lot of damage coming into this area. Uber comes out. Demo's jumping really far forward. Delacour does not care. He's trying to make as much space as possible, and they do not want to be involved there.
Yeah, pretty good job there by the Finnish soldiers, putting on a ton of spam. He was really close by, and then he just jumped out perfectly. So they lost 0 players. They lost the point, but they didn't bleed anyone. That's a really difficult thing to do, especially against an organized prep team like Ascent, you know? I mean, France.
That's going to happen more than once.
Yeah, that's for sure. Maybe sometimes on purpose as well. They've spotted out this Stiggies here. You can see Finland, they're moving their way in here. Soda's in very aggressively. Actually gets airshot, I think, or maybe that was just the scouts cleaning up. Elikor might get taken out. Yeah, he can't get out alive. It just goes to show how difficult it is not to bleed players. So Finland, they're just going to keep on going in here. Very aggressive jump in from AMS. Just gets completely mulched, but he's just bought so much space for his team. It's kind of an AMS pocket trademark, just jumping in there, basically dying immediately but doing a ton of damage and then just buying space, and then his team can do well. But France, they're putting up a fight here. They have the Uber, and if they can catch out Turbo, they'll be in a good position. But so far they haven't quite been able to get in there, but they also haven't been able to, or they haven't been forced either. So pretty good pushback out here from France, and now they're looking to go into mid with full Uber.
Yeah, France have been quite calm there, now trying to go for a bit of a med pick around the back lines, but not managing to find it. Trying to make a lot of space onto this sort of health pack side. Scouts getting denied, Credit with a nice scout 1v1 there as Merge is coming in with another jump, Amps going behind, and yeah, they're going to be trying to, oh, they use actually.
Yeah, MS got the force and actually got out alive, so now he's stuck behind, but yeah, that might not be just a flank position. He gets another nice rocket onto the medic. Umbrecht, yeah, just eventually going down there, just in the choke. That's a murder zone, that's for sure. And now it's Turbo that has it. Man, this is so back and forth. Just both teams just keep like one-upping each other basically and punishing the tiniest of mistakes. Turbo has the full Uber. Elikor is kind of on second, but I think he's just jumping back, trying not to bleed, so as to just slow down Finland as much as possible. They're going to jump in here, lock down all the chokes, and capture second, and then get ready to go into last.
Yeah, not seeing any sniper or NG at the moment, but oh, sniper is out on the side of Older actually, as I just said that, so I might be trying to look for another pick here. But I mean, Uber comes out very early. Callback is actually in this rollout area, loses the 1v1 to Amps, so that's already a 1-up on France right now. Sticks going to the point, just trying to make some space. They're all very far away from the point, so they're going to get some cap time, and that is a free point right there because they just walked away from it.
Yeah, excellent push there from Finland. They did a really good job of just balancing, pressuring the point, getting kills and getting ground just really excellently, and they lost like 2 players in that push overall, so just excellent push there, and they're actually ahead 2-1. The favorites of France, they're struggling quite a bit right now. They haven't won a single mid yet, I don't think, and that's definitely something that they would want to correct. Whoever wins mid just has an advantage. Korber's going to jump behind again, so he's out of the fight for a little bit, but Muya tries to jump in, but it's completely juggled up against the wall, and again, just not really able to make any headway. And here comes the soldier from behind Korvac. He took a while, but now he's in the fight. Gets juggled quite a bit, and actually it's taken down by Turbo. France, however, they're looking pretty strong. They managed to take down the scout that was onto the medic. Second soldier's going to come in here. Going to just goober him. Wow, the goober from AMS. But France, they're definitely going to win this middle, but I think they will be able to get Turbo out alive here because he has a scout to just run with. Soldier's going to try and chase him down, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
That was a massive jump from Rams. I couldn't believe that. I was like, there's a massive pogo on the wall. Managed to get the meds. So yeah, it's going to be 100% ad right now for Turbo on the side of Finland, as they do not want to try and make space on this point. They're going to kind of smartly try and hold mid for a bit and see if they can force the Uber out early.
Yeah, so they did win mid, but it was at quite a steep price. They lost their medic there. Looks like some double soldier spam going to force that Uber out here very early on. AMS jumps in very aggressively. Not exactly been taken down by Sticky Trap as well. Ooh, Raph barely unable to get out alive. That nice pipe from Skyper will take him down. Finland, they will be able to cap this, but Umbrecht's going to have a slight Uber advantage. This is that kind of Uber advantage that's very difficult to push with. Warrior might actually, he's hiding in a corner now. He's like behind those boxes. Oh no! Cobra just walks around the corner above him, just looks down at him, and this guy's just like looking into a corner. Just takes him down. It's a sad story. But that's going to mean that France is going to have an easier time pushing in here with the tiny Uber advantage that they already have. And you can see they are taking a lot of... No! I don't even think he had it there, but great timing from AMS. Just takes him down. You know, I think he was just going for the force, but he actually just got the kill. I think it was like on 99% or something, but maybe that was a drop. Doesn't really matter. Same scenario here, and now it's going to be a full advance for Finland to push back into mid and retake it.
Yeah, well, like it always seems to be the same scenario of like they have Uber to go back into mid like every single time, and Francis is trying to defend it. But yeah, Raph decided to jump away here as they're trying to make a lot of space here from the Finns, and they're out from choke already. But yeah, nice plays from MS to try and get the med like well twice in a row now basically. Need to just be watching out for that soldier. I think.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter whether or not it's a drop. It's the completely same like thing, you know. He just died right before he could use the Uber, and here comes the Uber in. The demo man's in very aggressively. They caught Elicore. Really nice job there. They didn't get the medic, obviously, but taking down the demo means that they could continue to push in here. And it looks like that's what Finland are going to do. They're at least going to try and send people in behind. AMS up on this high ground behind them will eventually go down, but now they're pressuring the last point as well. You can see the demo man's in. He has been taken down, but no. This was too ambitious for Finland. They lose a ton of players. Might even lose the soldier as well. They will. Olga cleaning up. Kovac comes in, trying to get down the medic. He's actually just going to help him out by helping him surf. But great hold there by France, and probably a bit too ambitious from Finland. We've seen them do this already before, and that time around it didn't work either. So maybe they should stop pushing off Uber.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed as well, they don't really push from one, like when they come in. Like they always go from like the lobby area, like around a med kit. So I mean, whether they want to switch up, I don't know. But I mean, Callback's coming up with a massive jump on this mid fight right now, as Elicore's trying to deny them, and there's going to be even Ubers. So I think this is going to be one of the first even Uber exchanges we've seen.
Yeah, and it is a one-man advantage right now for France. So this is a good time to take the Uber exchange, and there we go. So far, it's only a single scout that's taken the entire Uber. That means that the Uber is probably going to be slightly better for France, but just as I say that, Skyper manages to catch Elicore just backing off into his sticky trap. There's a scout in on middle, and it's going to get focused pretty hard, but nice pipe by Skyper. Man, yeah, that guy is going to need some thinking time there in the respawn queue to contemplate his life, because that was quite a murder there from Skyper. And now Finland, they're going to do it again, where they push in here without Uber. This time around, though, it seems a lot better. They just have the man advantage as well. Nice pipe again by Skyper, and again takes down Ombrecht. Skyper's just on an absolute rampage, but Elicore saves it by pipes of his own. Manages to just barely take down Turbo there. So the second point's going to go to Finland, but they will not have an Uber to push in until last. But they don't care, it seems. They're just in here. Skyper finally gets taken down. This heavy. That's going to just shut down any kind of push here. Heavies, they will ruin your fun, that's for sure. So Finland just finally able to, oh no, France, they just finally stabilize, and Ubers are pretty even, and AMS has gone spy.
Interesting. I'm just be looking for well, I mean the Ubers are quite low at the moment in terms of percent, but he's sitting behind them quite pretty right now, and going to be trying to look to get into this choke area. Need to be careful sort of how forwards they hold.
AMS coming up behind the medic. Oh, he missed the first one, but nobody saw him, and he actually gets the second one. All right, that works. And another massive medic kill for AMS. That's at least 3 that I can count, and he's probably killed him a couple of times more. But yeah, he doesn't like him, I guess.
You gotta always go for those mid frags, look for any advantage you can possibly get, as Turbo coming up to 100% Uber right now, gonna be walking into this choke area. No sticks to really deny apart from on this sort of slanted dive here. But yeah, Soldier are gonna jump in. They're quite passive right now, so they might not even need to use in order to get space here. Turbo just needs to be careful.
Finland, they have bought a lot of space here. They're just ready to go in onto last. They're actually going to go in through one here.
Here we
Just
go.
Uber in immediately. They haven't capped out second yet. So if that gets blocked, they're in a lot of trouble. But it looks like they will actually be able to take down Opti and his sentry. I know that was Olga, but they're just going to stand on the point and cap it out immediately. So pushing in early there just really worked out for them. They got a bunch of kills, pushed people away from the point, and just capped it out. That's going to be 3-1 in favor of Finland.
This is going to be a massive morale boost for Finland as well now. So I think like they'll be looking, I think they're confident on their mids. You can really tell by the way they're playing. Like France is still looking for opportunities to try and pick off Skyper or pick off the mid when they try and come in. But yeah, maybe, call back again with the quick bomb. But Skyper is absolutely destroying with these iron bomber pipes, and Merge somehow staying alive on the point. He's getting picked up by the scout, but AMS coming in with a big bomb. He's going to get sword denied right here as Raph getting denied by the scouts, and Elicore going down really low. Will he get picked up? Yes, he will. So 3 down right now on the side of France as the scouts in Finland's coming.
Oh, Skyper comes in there, really seals the deal, just does a ton of damage, like hits both scouts with his stiggies and then pipes the last one. That's going to be just Olga scurrying back to last, and they held on to their medic here, so they're going to have an uber advantage, and they even have scout to cap. So a scout, a demo man, and a medic surviving middle, that's really good. Like I've always said, that the best three players to survive middle is 2 scouts and a medic, right? Because then you can just like move forward really fast and you still have an uber. But a demo man's pretty good as well. And it looks like they're going to be able to just get on to second here completely uncontested. That means they're going to have a full Uber to push into onto last and just hopefully not drop to another sniper,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's quite interesting position from like they're heavy in the soldier right here considering a lot of Uber dis out, but Raph is going to try and scout them out right now, calling that they're going into lobby. The Uber does get used quite early-ish as a sentry and a heavy to deal with. It's an interesting sentry position actually from all. It's quite good. Able to peek over the point just very slightly, sticks on the point still, so got to clear that. He does deck, Freddy's on the point right now, gets like half cap time, but Raph trying to return the favour with a bomb in the back lines, trying to make as much space as possible as Merge is spamming them out. AMS jumps in, doesn't get as much damage as he probably would want to, but fallback does go down. Elicore's gets a nice arrow from the mid. As the scouts are going to be trying to fight this one scout Nuthouse is trying to fight 4 people now, so poor Nuthouse will probably go down, tries to go for the mid.
Yeah, Nuthouse hasn't taken. He's got a battle.
Oh! He forces.
What? Oh, what? I have never seen anything.
The Boston Basher Force.
Yeah, it was probably, like, he probably should have as well. A nice pipe there from Elicore. Not going to be enough to save him from AMS. The Finland putting on a ton of pressure here. They don't really want to give up second here for free, or it looks like they just have taken too much damage. Olga doing a ton of damage, but eventually goes down as well. And that's going to mean that Finland will have enough players to come in here and retake second, and they're going to have another Uber advantage to work with here. But that was such a good hold by France. Like that arrow literally saved it, the last hold for them. But that's going to be round 2 here as Finland come in. We're going to do a double soldier Uber. When was the last time you saw that? It's not very often. And they haven't gotten too many kills so far. Rap's gonna go down, and there we go. Another trade comes in, but now France has the man advantage and the heal advantage, it seems like. And I think that's just gonna be too much with this heavy just tanking damage like crazy. And yeah, that's gonna be an exit here for Finland. So they're struggling a bit to just put this game away. If they could just get another round, it would be so good for them.
Yeah, I think it's good to see though that like Finland are not really giving up like in terms of like the constant aggression onto second and onto last. Like they're so consistent in trying to peak it as much as they can and put out as much damage as they can, and also like getting the Ombrak picks as well. Like Ombrak keeps dying, whether it to be like a spy or to getting forced by a Nuthouse. So yeah, there's all these different things that just sort of add up, and Finland is taking advantage of them.
France, they did have a slight Uber advantage, but it looks like they didn't feel like they could really push on it well enough. So now we're gonna go into the first proper stalemate of this game. It's mostly just been players or teams overextending or taking fights and then either winning or losing them and then losing a medic to someone bombing in, But this time around, it's like a proper stalemate. And this should be where the established team should probably have an advantage, but at the same time, that team is also on the back foot, because when you hold second, it's more difficult to actually get a force on than it is when you're holding middle. So we shall see how this ends up and how both of these teams approach it. Finland, they could just technically sit on this forever if they want to,
Yeah, I mean, they might do that. I mean, Skype might get picked up by Raph, but no, he managed to survive. He's a good position in there. So they're going to be a soldier down. Raph may end up coming like spy or sniper possibly. I'm going to expect to see that. If not, then I'm not sure, because Finland have been pretty decent in these holes. I mean, Merger's got number
Oh, there's a
now.
soldier in now. Yeah, it gets one decent rocket onto the medic, but a good serve there by Ombrak. Really not any danger. As the second soldier comes in, oh, he tries to get out, but no, Finland, they've lost so many players. They've really committed here in a situation where they really didn't need to. If they just slow down the game, they are more likely to win. But instead, they've gone for everything, and now they're just going to have so much trouble just trying to stay in. And there we go. Uber has been forced. They do get the scout pick though, and Ombrak is eventually going to force here. But it looks like Turbo has just timed this perfectly as he gets out here. And that was overall pretty well fought there by Finland after considering just how much they threw away there.
I'm surprised Skype actually managed to do that much without Uber, like just as a lone demo and against like 3
Oh
people.
no, MS onto the medic!
Oh,
And
God.
actually, yeah, that was a money bomb for sure. Just everyone getting cleaned up by the scouts. The scouts got the kills, but AMS did the damage. And it's just going to be lone Olga just walking around, warning his team. And yeah, he's just going to go back to last with the tail between his legs, trying to build a sentry, get ready for the inevitable push in here. Finland have struggled with these, but this is a very good situation for them.
Yeah, France once again on the back foot. Finland obviously still looking pretty confident and looking to take this in. They're going to have a massive Uber advantage as well, so whether they go from 1 again or whether they decide to go lobby, which is what they seem to be doing right now. Uber's popped quite early again. Skype going in for a big bomb. Am's going in for a big bomb. But essentially going to go down. Six is still on the point, so they might have to clear them. He's not dead quite yet. But someone's going to try and make some space. Elicourse is sitting in this corner trying to get healed by his mid. There's the credit even not how it's doing work on the other side. But it's going to be a 2v4 right now. Ombrak is the lone mid, and it's 4-1 right now. It's a Finland. Really strong.
And there's about 5.5 minutes remaining. That means that it's definitely possible for France to come back. But if we enter any kind of stalemate, it's probably going to be a done deal for them. So it's a good time to be clutch. Like if you're ever going to start doing really well, now would be the time, France. It's no pressure. Just you got to win this mid.
Yeah, I mean, Finland's probably just going to try and park the bus if they end up losing this mid. But I mean, you know, with the way they've been playing, we'll see how it's going to go. Big bomb in again from AMS. Oh, big bot rocket on support back as well. And Ombrak going down quite early. There's only 2 up right now for France. There's Helicourse dancing for his life as Opti gets a bit of a redeeming pick, but will most likely go down. So will be oh, still alive? Oh no, there we go. Right for France.
Yeah, he's getting executed there by Crater. Just has his head cut off.
Fatality.
Indeed. Looks like Skyper's gonna just jump forward here. He's on second already. He's sticking up all these different doors. Oh, it's a crit on Ombrak. He knows what time it is, and Skyper gets picked off. This is great by France. This is exactly what they need. You know, they can't give up second for free because if Finland just sit around and hold, you know, this can get out of hand for them real quick. But Finland, they will not stop pushing here. So Sorter comes in. Turbo's going to definitely have to force. He was up against a wall, like literally and figuratively. And AMS is just going to do a monster bomb once again. Takes down 2 players as they try to run through 1. And Finland, they're just going to try and keep on pushing into 1 here. But there is a demo man just spamming it really aggressively and even going to catch a pipe onto a scout there. So this one push has definitely failed. But now the point cappers have come in here. Looks like they're going to take down the demo man as well. Almost got saved by an arrow. Scout on the point. 2 soldiers onto it. Try to save it. A second soldier comes in here, and eventually Finland, they will take it, and that should be game, set, and match for them. 5-1. They took it, man. They've just gotten better and better as the game.
So whether they must have over-scrimmed this particular map, but like, yeah, I mean, their performance onto France right now, it's almost as if like France is like a completely different team. Like, I'm not exactly sure. Like, are they have any mercs? Or is this like the whole main roster? I'm not fully aware.
Well, this should be the main roster. I'm not quite sure with the... And oh my god, the guy just jumps in and airshot Skyper immediately on this middle. That's how you get some respect back, you know? If you can't win the map, at least you can win the viewers' hearts. That was a great bomb in here. Finland will somehow still win mid, though. I don't know what this guy Korvac's supposed to do. But that was a great shot there from Korvac. He's up. Come on, bomb into them, Korvac. You know you want to. Do it.
The feed machine begins.
Yes. But yeah.
Big Uber advantage right now, 100%. They're going to have, like, what, 2 minutes 45 left of this match. 5-1, practically impossible now for France to do anything about this. It's kind of just for the logs, I suppose, but yeah.
I don't know. I like winning 6-1 better than 5-1, you know? So that's probably what they're doing. Olga's just going to peek out there as an engineer, and he's just going to learn this quick lesson that engineers are pretty bad in a 1v1 fight. As he just gets taken down immediately. There was a huntsman snipers hiding back into spawn. Finland's on the point. No, France not going to entertain them, and 6-1 there. So Finland win in pretty convincing fashion. It started out early, but eventually as the game progressed, Finland just had better pushes, better middles, and they won a lot of fights as well. So it's looking very promising here for Finland. And I mean, this was their map pick, so maybe this is to be expected.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, Creddy coming down with like 3 DOMs and AMS 2 DOMs there, so yeah, just doing a lot of work for their team, and I think the coordination was just really strong from Finland there, and I mean, they had a few hiccups on the last pushes, but I mean, eventually they managed to fight through it, they managed to fight through the heavies and the few sentries, so managed to get the space they needed to and fight them off, so we'll have to see if France can sort of pull anything back on Gullywash, and I suppose this is their map pick. Well, I'm guessing this is a map pick now, so should expect a bit more from them possibly.
Yeah, we are looking at some logs right now, and this is a really weird stat line for Elikor. This is very rare. He has 8 kills and 17 deaths, but he did top damage. So I have this sneaking suspicion that his scouts are very good at picking off or cleaning up on his damage, and you can see Opti went 29 and 14. Olga went 21 and 18, so like maybe it's just Opti cleaning up and stealing his kills, maybe.
Yeah.
So it was probably not as bad as it looks for Elikor, but not having double-digit kills is definitely a rare occasion for him.
Yeah, Opti was like in the middle of the damage charts, and he was like top of the kills. So
Yeah.
I think your observation is probably correct. I mean, we've got like the likes of Ash and Creddy. Like Creddy only dying 9 times as well. Like single-digit deaths on a scout for that is pretty impressive. And yeah, like you said, Elikor like dying quite significantly. Ombrak dying quite a lot as well. Like Turbo only died 6 times. And
Damn.
having your med only die that little is not going to be very good, because I imagine the heals were like So yeah, like almost 50 more heals per minute on Turbo, and actually 8 more Ubers. Wow, that is pretty bad.
That is significant. That's probably a big reason why. We saw AMS having a lot of success with his medic picks. I'm kind of looking down into it. How many times did he kill the medic? Oh, only 4 times. Okay, so those were all the times that I noticed it. He did kill the medic the most time of anyone except for Nuthouse.
Yeah, no, that's 5 med picks actually. I didn't even see most of his med picks. I think he was just too busy in the battle lines getting all the frags. But yeah, it's pretty well played by him to get all of them. But yeah, also Opti with the 18 soldier picks, so definitely focusing the soldiers and denying what he could. I think it was like when Elikor like piped them direct. Like Opti was like the last 1 damage shot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, Finland, they took the cold industrial map, right? But now we move on to sunny Gullywash. This is much more a southern setting, so, you know, maybe the sun's just going to burn the Finns and they're just not going to be able to handle it. You know, I'm pretty sure this is how TF2 works. Like, the in-game sun will actually give you sunburns.
Some geographical memes. North and south. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, Gullywash is a bit more... I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's a bit more open. Like the mid is like for me feels a bit bigger. I don't know. Like, and the ways out, like Big Door is obviously like one of the main spam points, and it's just kind of hard to try and push out into. But if you get some soldier jumps into the mid, it can be pretty effective. And like if you time them right as well, which obviously these teams will do, like the double soldier bombs into the med can often be very effective. So, but it's always the last holds that are a problem, because Gullywash last and pushing out of Gullywash last is always a pain. I don't know whether it's the same for 6s, whether it's for Highlander, but pushing out like on only like a 1 or 2 person ad can sometimes be hard, because the demo could just trap off all the chokes and stuff. So I'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, it can be. It's I'd say Gullywash is one of the better maps. Like, it's my favorite map, and I think it's a lot of players' favorite map as well. And last is pretty doable, right? There's basically like 3 different routes you have to check, and once you get out to a certain area, you know, you're good to go. And you can also do stuff like push some players up top, and then they can kind of go into Big Door and force the demo back, and then you can clearly come out through lobby that way. So you have a lot of options, I think, but there's also a couple of places where players can hide in lobby and riverside and water and that kind of stuff. You know, so you definitely do need to keep track of where players are. when you push out. But it's a pretty good map to push out from, I would say. And then middle, in general, I'd say it's more cramped than process middle. In the way it plays out, like it's very normal to kind of you push players into a choke, and then they're just so constricted there that you just have to get out. That doesn't happen as much on process. It can happen obviously, but it seems like a bigger thing on Gollywash. And also sometimes you will end up where your team has height advantage and the enemy teams are on the floor, and that's when you just completely demolish them, where you just shoot down. You make sure not to take any splash damage from like the big nipple. Right? If you stand too close to that, it doesn't matter that they're on the low ground, because then the rockets will just splash you anyway. But if you get the high ground and they're all down there, you're in a very good position, and you have more options on Gollywash in general. And the map is shorter. Like the trip from last to second.
Last.
Yeah, and Golly mid to last and Golly second. You have 2 different routes. So, you can kind of utilize smaller advantages more easily on it than you can on any other the 2 maps we picked so far. And like that, I think that's why I like it so much, because you can play it very slow, you can play it very fast. It's all up to you and how you want to play it. 7 was pretty notorious for slowing Gollywash down, but at the same time, like Lego always just like rolled over over teams on this map as well. So yeah, this is very often seen as a demo man map because it's kind of short and there's a lot of chokes. And Demo Man just does really well in these chokes and the way they're designed. And Elikor, he's probably the better demo out of him and Skyper. Skyper's been absolutely amazing, I just want to point out. But, in general, I would say that Elikor is the better demo of the 2. And that could definitely come into play here and perhaps actually get them some mid-fights.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see. As I think we are going to go live now, so you have to see if how fast these demos can make it, and see if your prediction of Elikor kind of doing a bit more of the carry work on this map and possibly not dying as much. Because I think he could definitely do a lot of work looking at his chokes. But yeah, got some initial soldier coming out right now. As double soldier bomb from the Finns, both into choke, but both instantly denied right there for callback.
Yeah, just immediately finding himself at the end of all the spam, and they can't even get Skyper out alive. So that's going to be the first mid for France, a very convincing one. The double soldier bomb is a lot less effective. Oh my god, that was a great surf from Turbo. He actually surfed up top to get away from this soldier, and then Kratos takes down, I think, the soldier, yeah. So a great escape there from Turbo. That's going to save it a lot. He was dead, man. He was not going to get out alive, but he just got the surf off, and there we go. Finland looks like they want to take a fight. They've lost the pointer, so it might be too late, but oh my god, William jumps in, takes down the medic. Ombrek is dead, but Turbo manages to get his Uber in time before he gets killed by the soldier. Soldier has jumped in behind. Raph is in here trying to fight the scout, and Korvac will eventually avenge it, but he's on 10 HP. There we go. Kratos is going to chip shot him down. And that was a great hold there. Just the fact that they managed to get down the medic, that really won the Finns that fight.
Yeah, Turbo probably not that bothered as well, having to use the... I mean, it would have been better if he didn't, but I mean, still on a slight ad right now as people have just spawned France. Elikor's got some traps set up on second, and there's going to be sort of sitting on this top area as...
Raph is sniper in spawn.
Trying to find this.
He's opened the door, but no, he will miss it, and that's it's an opportunity. You only get one shot, one opportunity to make it big, and he didn't do it.
Was that an Eminem reference?
I didn't say anything about spaghetti, so I think not.
Oh, right, okay. I'll let you off on. They're in the river right now, though. Going to be pushing forwards. On surprising ad, actually. I didn't think they'd be on 40% ad, but they are. AMS is running a big jump in. As going to be on the point. Skyper trying to shut them into the spawns. Heavy comes out. Oh, getting like so much damage already received. Turbo using his body to block, and first point actually going to Finland. So still the morale for Finland is winning these first rounds, and despite losing that first mid, actually.
Yeah, their mid was absolutely terrible. Like, they jumped in the soldier at the same spot. But I just want to point out that I was watching Elikor, and I have damage numbers on. He did 300 damage to the heavy, and then I just looked at the heavy, and he was fully buffed. Just disgusting clash. But yeah, we're on another mid. Looks like Korbak's going to get piped away there by Skyper, so definitely going to be a very different story this time around. The Finnish soldiers have not died yet. That's a huge boon for them, as they just push everything out. That's kind of what you see. As soon as you get pushed back just a little bit, you just get pushed out from the choke. And France, they're all the way back in lower lobby. Elikor is trying to shut things down in big door, but he just doesn't have enough firepower on his own. Second's going to fall as well, but it is a full Uber, so very similar situation to before, except France are not in a position to contest second.
Yeah, it might be more of a stalemate now, so I mean, we do have a heavy coming out on the side of France for Opti, but yeah, whether they try and get like a Spire sniper to try and get this Uber, but oh, never mind, because AM is going down to callback. So player disadvantage already is trying to peek Skyper, just go down very low, but yeah, 2 picks right now. As Soldier's trying to get in on lobby from like very far forwards, gets 3 down actually.
Yeah, it's very strong pressure coming out from the French team. They are actually putting time onto the point. Finland, they're threatening with the back cap, and they are definitely in there. They have actually spent the Uber doing it, but there's only a scout and a medic. They're not going to kill everyone, that's for sure. They're being chased out here, and they're being chased a lot, and this comes the sort of flank. Oh, this has been absolutely disastrous for France, I think, but actually somehow Elikor has snuck his way in and manages to come back here and actually survive and contest last, but now Finland is moving in here. Yeah, eventually taking it down.
I'm just gonna say, right, that was like some crazy decision making from Turbo there. So he managed to get out. So what he did, he was thinking about getting out first of all. He then decided to save with Credu because he knew he couldn't get out with out of scout. Then him and Credu then went river, then backed out. He saw a soldier in front of him, took a left. Luckily no one was in lobby, and then he regrouped with Skyper to win the round. So yeah, that was a big shout out to Turbo just staying alive there.
Yeah,
so,
literally running circles around.
Yeah.
As we have another mid here. It's been a mid for each, and right now the high ground is definitely fallen to the Finnish team, and France are all standing in big door. Korbek is coming in here. He's actually going to jump into the big door as well, trying to get some space there for people to move forward. This is basically the crab strat, where they're just like fighting from underneath and just eventually jumping some players up. But Korbek, he's going to be on the low ground, gets taken down. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where you can kind of be in this situation where you get caught out on the low ground and you're never able to make it up because you have to walk through some pretty tight chokes to do that. And unfortunately for France, they just never were able to get in him. Mu is actually in a situation where he might be able to jump onto the Met. He's going to try his best, but he's not able to find him, and he's not able to get out alive either. And there's actually an Uber fight going on outside here. So second has been contested. This little Turbo's going to go in here and save his demo man. Skyper at least is going to try to, not enough to save him. Uber does run out eventually. Second has been capped though, and Nothouse doing a lot of damage here. But for the French team, they're out in real numbers here, and they are just slowly taking it down. But it doesn't matter because AMS is on last. And Spy. Snuck his way in there.
Yeah, that is a typical Gully Wash. That is like the last caps. It's ridiculous, I swear. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, smart thinking from AMS to actually do that. Like, he knew there was a long fight going on, and I think he'd just come up from the spawns. He thought, oh, screw it, I'm going to go for that cap since we already have second. So yeah, it's going to be 3-0 within the first like 7 or 6 minutes. To Finland.
Yeah, it's and just to point out, if France loses this map, they're just gone from the tournament, and they're not on mid. What happened? Are they just not going to play mids? Just like, oh, we lose all the mids. Let's just not go there.
This is. Oh god, I don't even want to imagine what their mumble's like right now. This is a bad situation for France because they're just giving them all the space in the world, and Finland's even going to just sit here right now. Oh, they're building actually. That's interesting. Are they going to try and come in with like 20% ad?
Yeah, they actually have a massive advantage, but the problem is they might not know about it. You know, like they might not know how big the advantage is because currently. The reason they have this advantage is that Turbo hasn't been building Uber completely optimally, whereas France has. But France, you know, normally you just kind of assume that the enemy team builds optimally, because if you don't, you can kind of like push into them and then they have an Uber when you don't expect them to. And that's way worse than like not pushing in when you had a slight advantage. But look at this. Finland, they're going to move in here. They get a pick. But the Uber is way worse. Turbo's going to try to get out. He's so weak. He's like on 10 HP. Elikor desperately trying to pipe him, and there we go. He actually finds him with a sticky eventually. Nothouse coming in here, though. He's trying to get the medic. He's beefing his shots, though. He's not able to hit. And Ombek just running around the point. Yeah.
Skyper's still in. He's going to try and look for something, but... Oh, he gets a nice pipe onto the scout. Can he kill the soldier on the point? Oh, I missed the on bomber shots, but yeah. I think the strategy there was... they felt like they were losing their seconds, so they decided to just hold the second and choke, then exchange Uber and just hope that Finland push into them and don't want to wait it out. Well, I say that and Ombrecht goes down, so yeah, you mess with a big bomb again.
It's his thing. Just screw on back. And a nice shot there from Korvac. Gonna help take down Credo. So France, they don't have a medic, but they have a lot of combat classes, and they do manage to just power their way forward here. But it's going to be very difficult to actually go forward. But actually, I say that Korvac jumps in, takes down Turbo, just perfectly timed it, snuck his way inside, and just got his way onto the medic. And there we go. Ombrek's going to be on an advantage now. He didn't go crits, but it's an uber advantage is also good to have indeed. And they're just building in big door. And that was a really clutch pickup there by Korvac.
Yeah, I feel like Korvac and Raph probably need to do more of what AMS is doing, like trying to go for these med picks and like sneaking behind and that sort of thing, or just like go complete YOLO and just dive over the whole point to get the med, because sometimes it will work out. I mean, sometimes it's going to be arguably feeding, but yeah, in situations where France is right now with a 3-0 down, it's like surely it's going to be worth it, you'd think.
Indeed, we did see Korvac going down here, so he's not going to be in this uber fight. And France are going to come in here. They're going to be one man down, but they take down the sentry immediately. The Pyro is trying to push them back, and the Pyro is still alive. They have got no time onto the point, and they haven't killed very many people here. And Finland, they're slowly building the Uber down, 75%. It looks like France, they're just going to go out here. So this push didn't work out at all for them.
Korvac. Korvac's one on the point. It's going to be... he's going to be fine above scout, though, so it's nice to just stay in water. But yeah, I mean, the Pyro did a good job there. Actually managed to take up most of the Uber. As some counter pushing coming in right now as Burst lose a big jump. AMS getting some prick onto Olga as well. As the rest of France decide to back out through big doors. AMS can take the brunt of the Uber, trying to chase in here. I'm not sure about this Uber, to be fair. I'm not sure where Ombrek's gone.
He's in elbow right now, and I don't think there's any way Finland's going to catch him out. And of course, AMS is going to try. Of course he is, but he did 0 damage to Ombrek. So maybe a bit too ambitious there, but it has worked a lot for him in the past, so you can't really blame him for trying. Gonna see France move in here onto second. They've had a lot of ground, and everyone currently for Finland, they're up top. Gonna finally jump in Murio, or at least he's gonna try. He kind of bumped his head and just kind of sat awkwardly squatting in front of the scout who will just take him out of his misery. And it's just gonna be a small Uber advance for France again.
Uber comes in though. Brundtland to a scout again. Nuthouse level 1. Olga's going to sit on the point because there's no one actually on the point right now. Olga's going to get the capside. No one's contested him. Sky not able to rotate in time because he was in water. He didn't actually look at the point there. 3-1.
This is exactly what France needed. They come back. The sooner you can start on it, the more likely you are to just come back here. And if you can actually manage to build some momentum, that's really good. I will note that they started out going not going to mid, and they actually won the round. So does that mean they will not go to mid again?
This is an Olga sniper to mid, ladies and gentlemen. MS trying to come in, but they're trying to make space for the sniper. But both the soldiers from Finland don't care. Raph is actually hiding beneath. Gonna go for a bit of a jump onto Turbo. Gets one rocket. Oh, he finds a second, but it doesn't do enough damage. So Turbo's on 30 health, gonna live here on 60% Uber. But yeah, I mean, Olga on the sniper, not managing to pull off much there.
Yeah, he got pressured out really aggressively. I kind of feel like there was too many people playing around him in big door. Like, obviously you want someone down there to protect him so he doesn't just get rushed by a scout or something. But as it was, Murio's actually up top here, taking a ton of damage. Will barely make it out alive. Denmark's going to come in to save him. But he just ended up with all of France standing in big door, and then when those guys were getting spammed, the sniper was getting spammed out as well. So just a bit too passive, but maybe that's just kind of what France is decided that that's what they need to do to win. They send a scout into water, and he has been spotted, but this has caused France to send 2 players into water, and this means that the soldier could potentially have an easier time jumping in there. And Mui's going to try, but he gets taken down. Raph will trade with the scout, and it's going to be just a full retreat from Finland. They're going to sit outside. They're 1 man down right now, and France, they probably feel like they need to push, but in reality, they do have quite a lot of time to work with here. But, pressure is what they're going to do.
You're going to be sort of sitting in this lobby area. Elicore, kind of the only one really forwards in the lobby. They're still quite passive with someone last right now. Both mids on 100%, so going to be seeing if there's any sort of pick classes coming up. I don't really see any at the moment. Opti actually opting
Kratos
for
on
heavy.
sniper. Yeah, Kratos on sniper. And Kratos, if you haven't watched any ETF2L this season, Kratos has been a complete monster on sniper. He's I think he was on the poll for best off class of the season. I'm not even sure, but basically he has. He's pretty much been the best sniper in Prem this season in ETF2L. So,
No
yeah.
pressure.
Yeah, he's gonna jump in and immediately take him down!
Oh my god! Wow,
I'm so glad I hyped him.
He did the bind as well! VM. Oh my days, what a legend. So he gets the on-back drop. I won't say that, but Turbo goes down. What? To traps.
Oh, and then AMS gets reflected while jumping into a heavy.
The counter BM. It's insane. Freddy gets called back though, so it's gonna be 4v4 at the moment. Gets the scout! Freddy was on fire, Skyper just go down. As Freddy's trying to peek the heavy. Probably shouldn't peek him, but he's gonna get a 450 shot, can he get it? Ooh, no.
Not quite able to find the head there, but he's still alive and he's definitely warmed up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, man, I feel bad for AMS. He jumped into a heavy knowing he was going to get Ubered, and then he didn't get Ubered. And he got reflect killed. The worst feeling. Yeah.
On second right now, I'm going to be looking pretty comfortable. Slight ad on the side of France, but I mean, the thing is, oh wait, I don't know, I guess right. Credit went down, so yeah, is wonderful process. Ooh, nice pipe onto Rack there from Skype. We're trying to deny the space, but yeah, it looks like they're going to take this mid, going to give it up for now as Merge get out with 14 health.
That was some dance moves, just running in circles, just barely dodging it. AMS has gone spy again, but oh yeah, okay, this time around he has been spotted. Just gonna try and ambassador the players down. Don't tell him it's nerfed. He's gonna be so disappointed. Does it do like 60 damage now at most ranges? Is that something like that?
I think it can do normal damage if you're point blank, but yeah, I mean the chances of being point blank against a 60 team, he goes in the stab onto the callback. It's a butter knife, but doesn't manage to find anything as they're going to try and push it away through big door. It's even Uber's right now. Credit doesn't really care though, he's getting a lot of damage onto Elikor as the Uber is going to get exchanged. Ombrak isn't even used because he's not been forced at all. However, he did drop his demo.
Yeah, he's like, the demo's not worth using this Uber. And here comes the Uber. Scouts, they're worth Ubering, that's for sure. Just gonna give chase in here, but not really able to get anyone as they were just chasing scouts themselves. Rap's on the middle trying to fight a scout. And it's actually an entire team there with Rap. The scout, let's see if he can get out alive. And never mind, now his team is in there as well. So now it's just gonna be a big old team fight. Soda's been isolated here. Korvac finds out that he just jumped an entire team. He's gonna feel kind of silly. And eventually Skyper does go down, so that's going to mean no demo man here to spam people out, but Finland, they do have control of this choke right now, and France, they're going all the way back to last, it seems.
Yeah, there's a 2-man advantage right now for Finland. There's just 3 down for France. Going to be looking to hold last at the moment. A bit of a very slight discard for Ombrat, but he's going to be building up with his scout. Heavy comes out as well for Opti. Going to be doing that quite a lot. Going to be trying to deny out AMS comes in. Which he does do, and Uber gets popped out, but what they'll realise is that Ombrak is on 95% and he's trying to get some point time right now.
Barely. The respawn bind coming in. Oh, so close.
They're going to try and Uber out, but it's too late. Like, Ombrak's on 92, and they weren't able to deny the point in time, so it's going to be 4 run right now for Finland.
Yeah, they're just barely in the nick of time that they managed to cap that out. It was basically like half a second and people would have been on the point and they would have been Ubered and they would have been dealing out damage. But as it is, it's going to be Finland taking the lead once again, increasing their lead, I should say, to 4-1. The double sorted bomb, this was the one that didn't work for the first time around. Sort of, they've spread out quite a bit, but it looks like they will get picked off just the same. Finland, they managed to get some time onto the point, but as France move forward, they actually do get quite a bit of better results, but no. It seems like jumping the soldiers up really aggressively into the demo man is not a good idea against France.
Yeah, Turbo's like doing a really good job of living this entire game as well. Like managed to get out with Credu and like credit to Credu, I guess, for managing to get him out alive and building these Ubers up to prevent this last point. We'll have to see if they're going to test second. AMS is on spy again, so just see if he can get a cheeky stab while they're all distracted with the team flow.
Yeah, third time's the charm, So I'm sure it'll work. He's slowly getting in there. He's basically in a good position now where he's behind the enemy team. He just needs some noise, and it looks like the noise has been made. Nobody has spotted him yet. Oh, no. They don't realize. Oh. Face taps him, and it's not enough.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get that, but yeah, he managed to jump down on Bragg, actually kind of moving around, preventing the backstab. But yeah, good to have an Uber kind of come into the century. Turbo not actually using, okay, he doesn't use now. I was going to say he might have been piped there, but yeah, smartly he could have used that. However, he might be at a slight disad after this because he used a bit later, but it's not going to be enough to worry about.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough to worry about. Like, maybe if France are really diligent about building and really dot push and just have the perfect execution, it could be a thing. Nuthouse going to try and get out here, put time onto the point. Him going down is actually a really big deal because that's going to mean there's no time on the point.
Kratos messing behind.
Yeah, so it's Kratos right now because he can push down there. The Moria takes down guy, and Skyver will take down Olga as well. So this is getting very messy. France
oh my god, Kratos in behind, like AMS came behind the bomb as well, but like.
But the back cap.
Oh god.
There's a single Rap soldier back there, and
no.
he will actually get it. Wow. I guess that's payback for the time Finland did basically the same.
Yeah, it's good to see France actually sort of learning, I guess, and trying to return the favour, I suppose. And yeah, it's going to be 4-2. I mean, 11 minutes, I mean, it's all to play for right now. I mean, France can still come back into this a bit, and yeah, I mean, if Finland decides to kind of part the bus a bit, they probably will do.
See, I'll go get some nice spam into big door here first. Looks like Finland, they're going to take their own side first and then take it from there. They're going to be a very quick soldier bomb coming in by Raf and Korbak, and they got taken down by a nice air shot. Now Finland, they're just going to move across the point as a unit. They're pretty weak, but they definitely got this middle. Just the double soldier bomb. Whoever does that first loses, it seems. It's not quite true, but it's been the case on a lot of middles so far. And wow, Skybright gets taken down by Opti. So that's going to make it a lot more difficult to lock this down. But AMS, oh no, that's Moria in onto the medic. I just assumed it was AMS. Ombrek's on 99% and 30 HP. Looks like he's finally going to get it. And Finland, they've completely crumbled here. So it's just going to be Nuthouse trying to do his best to stay alive. But no, he just gets flanked from all sides. And great hole here by France. And could it be the start of the comeback?
Yeah, I think France like deciding to use their brains a bit more now, playing a bit smart, taking the high ground and just spamming them out as they can, because they know Elacor can do a lot of spam damage and denial, so they can't just rely on him to do that, and combined with the soldiers like Korbak and Raf, it's going to be good to go. But Skype's trying to deny lobby right now as much as he can, but ooh, they're just trying to go for a bit of a pick there onto the med, but not really finding it.
France have the full Uber advantage. They're getting ready to push in on Cloud. Looks like they're going to go through Shutter. Actually, I'm wrong. They're going to go through main with the two scouts to take down the sentry gun actually immediately. They haven't killed the Pyro quite yet. They don't have second captured as well. So even though they have a scout onto the point, they couldn't put time onto it. Now they can. And the soldiers are in there. Now basically everyone's just piled onto the point. There's going to be a soldier trying to shoot down. There's a lot of heals coming out here from Finland, but eventually looks like they're going to lose a lot. Ombrek's on the point, gets the saw, and here comes Elacor. Can he do it? He gets the scout, he gets the sword and pipe as well, and he actually caps it out. 4-3. France is slowly coming back, and that was clutch by Elacor. He has 10 HP, by the way.
Yeah, France finding their mojo a bit, trying to come back into this, but yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, yeah, Korea did a nice job of denying the space there, but I think he needs like possibly a bit more help. Or like, luckily he needed some spawns to come in, but they just weren't there. Spawn time is not really in their favour. But yeah, some early sticks from Skyper into this big door area. It's going to be walking out of the opposing big doors. Merge going for a bit of a bomb onto this side. Going to be regrouping for now. Not much going on right now. Skyper going to be standing on the point. As a merge with an L shot, like while he was in mid-air onto the scout as he was jumping, so that was a pretty nice shot. But Turbo taking a lot of damage, yeah.
He's in a lot of trouble, but looks like he has stabilized quite a bit. France, they're trying to make it forward here. There's a scout coming in from behind, but they spot him just fine. Kratos, he hasn't really taken any damage, but he's just biding his time, waiting for the right time, and it looks like this is going to be it for him, but his team's not really there to support him, and the Soda has come in from behind, but barely unable to get anyone. Very weak players on both sides, especially on Finland, but they have better positioning, and eventually they just managed to edge out this this mid fight. But Ubers are even, and France, they're about to get some respawners, so they should be able to hold all the chokes. But man, that was a close mid.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing now from the mids from France is like if they realise they're losing it, they're not overcommitting, so they're actually kind of just getting most of their players out. So they have like 4 alive or something to hold the choke, which is good because it means they're making to stay alive and have the Uber, and if they need to exchange, they can fight back for the mids again, which they haven't done previously, to help them win the like 2 previous rounds. So yeah, it's gonna be even Ubers right now, a bit of a stalemate at these chokes. To see if the Romans kind of sack in and maybe change off to like Sniper as well.
Yeah, I think Korbak was trying to see if he could sneak his way into drop down there, but he just took 200 damage and had to go out. So, you know, you can definitely see France, they're trying to do something here. At least they're trying to get some setup going. And right now they're just eating a ton of spam from Skyper. I wouldn't be surprised if Skyper just has like 1 million damage in the logs because of all the spam he's done in this choke. Yeah, Raph is in big door. He's definitely not able to do more, but the Soda has actually come through the drop down and then he'll just jump out. He tried to get a flank onto Murray, but didn't quite manage to hit him. So we're just left with the same old scenario here where both teams are trying to heal up and trying to spam out as much as possible to try and create an opening to get a good suicide in.
Yeah, I'm kind of genuinely surprised Corbat managed to get out alive there. Like, I'm kind of surprised he managed to get through drop down, but then he managed to sort of just jump around, almost getting the finished Soldier there. But yeah, Raph going to be sort of blocking off this big door area for now, trying to scout it out. Not much going on in terms of this. I mean, what's your kind of prediction for the 6 minutes then? Do you think France will kind of be able to find something here?
They don't need to do too much. Looks like they might just take a fight here. Korvac somehow doesn't die. He just walked through the choke. And
was lucky.
Yeah, it's quite tanky. But you know, if you're kind of getting desperate, you just Uber through the choke. And you know, if you just have a single Soda in there, oh, he gets Skyper. That should be a really nice opener up here. And yeah, it looks like they're just going to take it through a scout, try and see if they can flash as many people as possible. They've sent only a single scout through, and he's kind of being left alone. But so far, Olga is doing a great job of just dodging. Eventually, does get taken down, and this is not looking too good for France, I'd say. They still need to get in here, but AMS, he's finding the medic. He's just running around with the stick, trying to get him, and eventually he will find him. Opt is going to be the last one alive. Never mind. That's Elicor's honor, but he cannot find it, and yeah, just not quite the best Uber exchange there for France. It was just, I think they would have been better off just having a soldier because he can actually like cause them to flash at a much greater distance than the scout.
Yeah, you're probably right, and the big thing here is Turbo lived, so it's going to be a bit of a big ad right now. It's about 40%, so they'll be trying to look forward to take it into last. Olga again with his typical level 2/level 3 sentry. Opti actually going Pyro this time as opposed to Heavy. You're going to try and do what Finland were doing on their last holes and have the Pyro air blast them back down the stairs next to the sentry. It's doing a good job of sort of denying them initially, wasting a few of the seconds of the Uber, but I mean, there's not many people actually on the point. Elicor's getting chased by AMS as well. And in the meantime, Nas gets the cap time. Oh,
yeah, they just kind of stood on it and they did a really smart thing because Elicor was in the water, had the point sticking up, so they just sent people in there with the slight flashes of Uber, got in the face of Elicor, and then once he was taken down, they just had some players onto the point, and the rest of them, the French team, didn't realize in time. So, yeah, they just managed to cap out the points, and now it's 5-3, 4 minutes remaining. France, they can still get in here. They have 2 minutes per round to make a comeback, but this is getting very scary for them, as just immediately we see the Finnish team. They have a man advantage so far. They're just all playing together here on their own side. They do manage to take a lot of players down, and now Ombrak just trying to escape. He's actually on Crits Creek. Not that really matters right now. Oh, he's doing so much juking. He's going to fight the medic, actually. Now he's just stuck out. This is actually a recipe for getting down. He's somehow juked him again. Okay, he's finally been spotted by a scout. And there we go. Goes down super late. And this is rough for France.
Yeah, I mean, Ombrat not really having much choice there, like trying to find out if he could get through main, but he knew the soldier and scout were on his back, so couldn't really get out in time. So late medic deaths, there's going to be no buffs right now, so if they go in right now, they're not going to be buffed properly. They're going to be waiting on this top left area for the buffs as Ombrak is up now. Level 1 sentry is up, so Pyro can try and deny some rockets as he switches off the NG class. All we're going down quite early though, so no Pyro to deny this. Elicor has probably got some sticks on the point as Turbo is still alive actually, so managed to get this point in the end.
Yeah, Elicor, he did do a bit of damage there on last, but yeah, France, they now realize that it's basically impossible. They're calling GT. It's 6-3 with under 3 minutes remaining, so that means that every like 50-second round that France needs to get 3 of in a row.
Yeah.
It's probably not happening, but you know, they can still get another round here. So we're just going to continue to commentate because there's still a lot of fun stuff that can happen.
Well, Credu is continuing his tradition of 3 dominations as he's currently on 3 dominations. Ooh, massive airshot.
Ooh.
MS
He's so good in these dying minutes where it doesn't matter anymore.
Helicore trying to push him out. Yeah, I got a scout and medic to sort of sit in the big door. I think France will come down with this kind of pointless mid, I suppose. Not House is still alive, waiting for an arrow. Merge is trying to push out Olga. And yeah. Oh! Opti managed to get a turbo actually in the midst of that. So.
Yeah, really close. Can Crater do the same though? Looks like he's not going to give chase. So Umbrak will actually survive. And this is a crit streak, by the way. So we have a soldier who's going to be a hero. I think it's Wrath. You know, they don't have the demo man with them quite yet. And there you go. Wrath's going to jump in. He didn't quite get the crit streak. Now it's on the scout. He's just going to send in some desperation, spam rockets. So some nice disruption coming out from the Finnish team, going to ruin that crit streak. But they did lose some players, so it's not over yet. France could still win this, and Skyper will get taken down. He just got jumped by Helicore, who's really far forward. He's going to try and shut down his choke, and he's just going to like power into them, see if he can just out-DM a scout with the medic on him. Turns out he can't. So, you know, this is what you do in dead time.
Yeah, Opti gonna go sniper right now, see if we can get any headshots for these logs. Callback gonna try and do that sort of hover position above big door. Managed to fall off it though, but yeah, I mean 1 minute left, pretty much dead time. Gonna try and see if they can make any space here and choke. Raph trading out with Nuthouse. As Callback's gonna just walk into Skyper, manages to get the pick actually with a bit of a splash rocket, but only 2 of them right now for Finland.
Yeah, he's on a mission now. He's going for the flank, I think. You can just see the point is completely irrelevant, right? They're just all forward. They're just like, come on, Finland, go to mid, man. Go in there. This is not a trap. We haven't set a trap for you at all. So AMS will actually fight a demo man. Gets another skill stick kill. Oh, that's great. So Olga's just eating sandwiches, being like triple teamed by 2 scouts and a medic and a demo.
Someone to the heavy.
Yeah, this is so confusing to me because like just everyone has just ignored middle.
Yeah, it's used for no reason on this.
Yeah,
Raph and Callback in the back lines just roaming around the lobby. Not us with the GG in 5 seconds. So yeah, I mean, what do you think kind of went wrong for France there in terms of well, I guess you got the process, but then not the gully because they seem to be coming back a bit, but I don't know, they've kind of lost the consistency.
Yeah, like they were definitely losing some fights and
like the mid fights, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely the mid fights is the first thing that was difficult, right? Like they won 2 mid fights out of like 10 or something, so that should give you an idea, right? That's definitely the first thing.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these logs, yeah, Credu going 33 to 9. I mean, to admit, like the logs will be a bit skewed for the last like 5 minutes. But I mean, you know, they'll still give you a general idea for the Gully Wash match. But yeah, Credu 33 and 9, just absolutely pounding for Finland, showing his dominance, I suppose. And Amps with some big bombs, 23 and 22, dying quite a bit, but like, you know, most of the times he died is for like a massive mid pick or something. So pretty well played out of him. Top damage is actually Credu, actually out damaging both demos. So. The slam. I mean, I think he did get some shots onto the heavy at the end, but yeah, still.
Yeah, that's definitely the Credo carry, right? Like, I think it was just superior DM that really made the difference here for Finland, just overall. We are going to have some interviews, by the way. I think AMS is coming in. But, yeah. But yeah, I think it was just DM, and like Skyper did way better than I expected him to. I kind of considered him like a mediocre demo man, like for Prem level speaking, right?
Underestimated, mate. Underestimated.
Yeah, I definitely did. He was doing really well, and just the ability of Finland to just pick off Umbrak was just persisted throughout the 2 maps. It was better on this map for France, but still Umbrak died more than Turbo, and there were definitely a lot of situations where he just got bombed. And just the sheer DM power of Finland, it seems, just enough. So now we're going to have Finland versus England in the finals.
Well, your dream came true then, I guess.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, I'm definitely not complaining.
Oh, hello. We have AMS in here. So how do you think that game went overall? I mean, you guys seem to be doing pretty well, and you seem pretty confident after the first few rounds on process, and like you managed to pull off some massive bombs. So I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was pretty good. We played a lot better than I expected. Or it was a lot easier than I expected, rather. I thought it was going to be a lot closer.
Yeah, I mean France is obviously quite dominant in like previous Nations Cup seasons, and like probably the favourites. I mean, Beat was saying they're the favourites. I mean, I'm not as aware because I'm not into the Sixers scene as much, but I mean, I know France is still a good team regardless. But yeah, you guys did pretty well. I mean, what do you think were your strong points in terms of what do you think you did best?
I think we have really good coordination between our soldiers. I really like playing with Muria, and I've played with him in Prem before. Like, we used to be teammates, so like we're pretty used to playing with each other, and we got some really nice coordination with him. And our scouts are, I think, the best scouts in the cup for sure. The best scout combo.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said. But it did kind of surprise me a little bit that you guys seem to have just as good coordination as the French team, because it's basically a cent. You'd think they had the whole coordination thing on lockdown, but you guys always seem to be doing pretty well in these kind of stalemate situations. But you did seem to struggle whenever you tried to like push off Uber just through chokes. Like, you seem to do that a lot on process, and every time it just seemed to fail.
Yeah, no, it's pretty difficult to make some pushes work, because everybody kind of has a set role, and if someone doesn't do their role properly, then the other team can easily capitalize on it. And it's still basically a mix, right? So it's impossible to get everything like done correctly in this short amount of time. Like, it is not possible to make sure everything's working perfectly. So these kind of mistakes are going to happen where somebody forgets to stay on last and we get backcapped, or if somebody forgets to cover something, or we get disconnected in a push. This sort of stuff. It's going to happen, but I think we played around it pretty well.
So now the real question is, I guess first question is, can you remember the last time Finland was in the final of the Nations Cup?
I think we won the first two ones, right? And then I don't think it's happened afterwards.
Yeah, it's been quite the drought, that's for sure. But now you're going up against England. And England is just typically seen as an absolute powerhouse within European TF2. So what do you think your chances are going up against that team?
I haven't seen their lineup. All I know is that it's like, in my opinion, they didn't get the best players they could have. But like, I don't know. I don't want to say they're bad or anything, because I don't really know. I haven't seen them play. I haven't really seen the lineup. But I assume it's going to be a close game. And yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, congratulations on your victory here, and I look forward to seeing the England game. Obviously, probably going to be rooting for England as its home nation, but yeah, I wish you the best of luck, I suppose. And yeah, it was a fun game today, anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you have any shout-outs you want to give out before we sign off?
Yeah, shout out to my team. It's really nice to play with those guys, especially Credo, who's really helping me keep it together with the comms and stuff. So yeah, thanks to those guys for playing, and shout out to Bloodis as well for organizing our scrims and all that, being a good captain.
Yeah, I was looking for him to really, but no, I guess he didn't play. He just organized that.
Yeah, he just schedules our scrims and gets our servers and doesn't play. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, true hero.
I'll give a shout out to Skyper, and shout out to Foppish on the camera, and also shout out to Wiethoofd, who I think is on holiday and like managed to text us to try and get this sorted, sort of half sorted, I suppose. And yeah, it turned out alright in the end. But yeah, so nice ones.
Yeah, and with that, I think we're going to sign off. I'm not quite sure when the final is going to be, but it's going to be a great game. So definitely make sure you tune in for that. Whether or not it's going to be on TFTV or Critscast, we don't know yet. We don't know anything yet, but definitely going to be a great game. You can cheer for Finland or you can cheer for England. Either way, definitely just show up. It's going to be a good time. I've been Peter, been with Buck and Foppish. Interview was AMS. This has been the Nations Cup number 7 semifinal between Finland and some losing team I can't even remember. But goodbye, good night, and have a good time. And we will see you soon. Bye-bye.